final matchup we have tonight is TCSG versus the Immortals.
Going to be a good one. Let's see if TCSG can bring it, because they have looked to be the weakest team this season. And the problem with TCG is it's just that the TCSG, I should say. I'm not talking about trading card games in general. We talk about that another time on another stream. But the problem with the Coalition here is that their plans are solid, but their execution is often just off point, to put it nicely. They miss their shots. Sometimes the coordination is poor. You look at a team like Run. They usually have bad plans, but they execute their plans really well. It's like, well, this should never work, and then they just do everything perfectly. They fight really well, and sometimes their rush strategies work. TCSG very similar in that they like to rush a lot. They like to move together. When they try to do something a bit more technical, it seems to fall apart due to perhaps lack of communication. It's just a team that has not found success yet in this tournament. I
feel like they haven't actually figured out what strategy works the best for them. Like Karen Tigers, very standard, very patient play. Like you said, Run, a little more haphazard, but it works for them, and that's what they're comfortable with and what they're good at. I feel like Coalition right now, they're just kind of feeling it out. They're mimicking other people's strategies, but haven't really found anything that's their own yet. And I think that's kind of like the key factor to their non-success.
Right. Like, we could actually basically we could actually summarize each team's style pretty well, like from top to bottom. Elong, insanely technical, good accuracy, no risks.
Right.
You look at Karen Tigers, very defensive, very careful. B Gaming, basically Karen Tigers just not as good, but still pretty good. You look at Team Efficiency, very aggressive and very precise with their movements.
Right, Horsemen, they're like to travel in packs, just like Horsemen do.
Big roaming, a lot of rotations. You look at Run, surgical strikes. At least that's what they attempt, right? It doesn't always work out for them. They sometimes run into a wall. But at least they're good at what they know what they're good at, and they do it well.
Right, and they like to do their comfort strategies, basically. And when they try to move away from that, it doesn't work quite as well. And then, again, that's exactly what I feel for Coalition. They're trying out strategies that they know have worked for other teams, but not exactly for their own team.
Right.
And today, I mean, again, they're going to be playing against the Immortals. Immortals, another very strong team. A little inconsistent, but overall,
the thing I would say about Immortals is that they're very plan-oriented. They sometimes fail to change the plan. Like, if they try to rush a capture point and their opponent's team is already set up there, they sort of force it to work, which does cause them some problems. But we haven't seen the Immortals excel yet. Like you said, very inconsistent. At the beginning of the season, I was thinking they were going to be up there with like B Gaming based on their first few games that we saw from them. But then they lost a few games that really surprised me. So they're definitely a strong team, definitely highly favored versus Coalition. But maybe Coalition can bring something a little bit more consistent, a little bit more careful, a little bit more, towards their style, towards their liking. On the table, here's our team members.
Speaking of the Coalition, we've got Dragon, Quan, Baby, Crazib. We see those three quite often. Lakushme, Lyrax, and Roy Home. We see these guys often. Now the other members, Roby1, Lost Baby, Raymond, we don't really see them as much.
Yeah, Lost Baby must have been lost somewhere. It's funny that we have Baby 3334, but we've got Lost Baby as well. I'm not sure the connection.
Oh, goodness. Okay, anyway, so here's the Immortals. That was a terrible joke.
I know, it just kind of rolled off.
It is late at night. We have the Immortals here. Unreal Rogue, the series, Kitan, obviously the Artie player here. Sun, Hades, Never Best Ningyo. Actually, this team is another one of those teams where we see people swapped out quite frequently. Yeah. And so every single one of them has definitely had some airtime for sure.
Yeah. Some of the best players, I think, are the Kitan, the Sirius, Ningyo. Those are the players that stick out the most to me. Sun as well.
Yeah.
You get some players like Reaper and Blackheart. We don't see them always, and they don't always perform. That's probably why we don't see them that often. And they're kind of filler players. But Kitan is, like, in my opinion, the best player on the team. I don't know what you think, but I think he's the most consistent.
For me, it's Sun. I feel like I'm constantly seeing Sun not making the big plays, but always making those plays that count, like the smaller ones that allow his other teammates to really shine.
Okay.
And I feel like Sun is able to do that very much.
To me, they're very close. Like, I feel like it's one or the other. They're definitely the top 2 players on the team.
Absolutely. Okay, here we go. Game number 1. Set number 1 has begun. TCSG versus the Immortals. Immortals is going to be on the defense first, and we are on Runeberg.
Their tanks are strange, Susie. They're running the 2 Bulldogs on this map, as well as 2 T-54s and the 2 IS-3s, the 5100. The rest of the lineup makes sense to me, but I would rather see another T-54, or actually really another IS-3. The tanks that we see from the Coalition are standard. I mean, insanely standard. 3 IS-3s. 150, 100, 1 lightweight mixed in there for extra mobility, and the Waffen, which we're seeing on this map a lot recently. More so on Himmelsdorf, but on this map as well, we're starting to see it come back in, and a T-37. And they're actually going to rush the north side first, going there as quickly as they can.
Okay, yeah, you're right. This is definitely a little bit different than we were used to. Like you said, already, Crazy is in a terrible position. Why is he all the way out there by himself?
Well, the Sirius looks to be disconnected. Oh, no, now he's moving.
No, he is definitely moving. He's taking shots on the Bulldog, just very quietly, though. That was an awful decision by Crazy to just go out like that. But anyway, I want to talk about the positioning here. You can see that Coalition actually didn't make it out of the city. They decided to stay here and perhaps take this northern base capture, which is not something we've seen people do.
Yeah.
But you know, with the Waffen there, maybe that's what they're trying to do, is lure in members of the Immortals and then just explode them with Tank Destroyer?
Well, I think that's the idea here. Obviously, Tank Destroyer is going to be good against a heavy lineup, which we are seeing from the Immortals. But because Krazib went out there so early on and lost himself, it makes it a bit tougher to support that tank, the Destroyer. Odysseus takes some serious damage as well, meanwhile. And I just feel like the Immortals are in such a good position. This sort of strategy that we've seen from the Coalition on Mines, for example, versus Run, where they just kind of run in and try to rush a capture point. It works for them half the time. But in this case, the Immortals called their bluff right away, went to the proper position, and just sat back and defended. And now the Coalition has to do something else. They need to
they're going to group up once again and try to probably figure out which direction they want to go. How are they going to rotate to be able to avoid some of the members of the Immortals, who obviously have every single road coming out of the city on lockdown? There's one tank at every major intersection. And there's 3 IS-3s and a 5100 up north. Obviously, they're not going to be able to take this northern base capture, so they're going to have to do something else. I don't know what else they can do. I mean, at this point, they're already down 1 tank, and Baby is down to, you know, barely nothing here.
Yeah, we'll see what happens next as Robio and Kenobi actually getting very far out here. I mean, he's actually confident enough. He knows he scouted the area well enough where he can move out here.
Oh, wow. Lyrics take some damage. The 3 of them driving by going to try to take out Hades, but not really being able to hit anything critically. Hades just takes a tiny bit of HP damage.
Yeah, Haku doesn't get anything done either. He's looking for a shot there. Robio and Kenobi is coming to join up now, but if he gets spotted by the Bulldog or Sun, he's going to take some damage as well, but he's so far hidden. He only has 3 rounds left before he has to go and reload, so he needs to make all 3 of those count. And at this point, the Immortal is massively ahead. We're starting to reach that point of almost no return as the clock is at 3:30.
Well, the Immortals obviously know they're no longer going to go for that northern base capture, so they're going to move down as well, meet the Coalition head on once again, and they're ready for them. They're ready for the members of Coalition to come by. Here's the Sirius just taking some shots. He's, again, one of those clutch players for the Immortals, one that we see all the time making those super plays.
Yeah, we certainly do. Well, I don't know what the Coalition can really do here, Susie. They're caught out of position. They're down in tanks. They have They have no advantages whatsoever. They have no position.
Yeah.
Ningyo gets spotted here by Baby, and he's missing his shot. He hits Haku instead.
No, yeah, I think he's trying to take out the Waffen. I think that's more of a threat to him, because if the Waffen does get close, obviously it's going to be able to take him out in one go, even though he is this, heavy tank here. Baby, oh, there we go. Good job by the series. They're going to take out the Waffen, get rid of that tank destroyer, because he does a lot of damage if he's able to actually connect.
Okay, here comes the Sirius. He's going to be the playmaker here. Roy Hamiya is actually on reload right now. Blackheart takes out Odysseus, meanwhile off camera. Sirius takes out Baby. And now Roy Hamiya and Lerax, 2 IS-3s, were given the task of destroying all 7 tanks who are left. At this point, the Immortals just simply will surround and eliminate these 2 one by one.
Look at that, all the focus fire. Roy Hamiya, you are the star of the night. All the boys in the Immortals just want your attention.
And it's going to be the star that burns out last. There he goes.
Hades goes ahead and takes him out. Immortals takes game number 1.
Yeah, taking that 1-game lead. Very slow, very patient. Some good play from the Immortals today. Very slow, not quick to rush into their advantage, which we've seen from some of the weaker teams in the past, getting a bit too aggressive when they get ahead. So very careful, calm, and collected. They were on the defensive, so a good choice. The Bulldog picks for them really worked out. They were always hiding the Bulldogs, and the Bulldogs were doing that extra damage because Bulldogs fire pretty quick.
Right.
They're tier 7s. They're better than a tier 6. They're going to be able to fight a lot better. And it was a cool pick. We never really seen someone tech those Bulldogs in it like this and then use them for kind of assassination attempts, or just suddenly surprising and chunking someone's damage down to half and then running away again. It was pretty cool, pretty unique.
I really liked it. Actually, me too. I really did like it. It excellent mobility, so it was great for this small map. And so I'm trying to collect my thoughts here. Okay, so TCSG didn't make it out of the city, which was, again, very different as well. And having those Bulldogs be in that city, I think that really worked out to their advantage. Do you think it would have been better for TCSG to just quickly get out and go into that little village side instead?
It's really hard to say. I think that in hindsight, probably yes. But given the information they had, I think what they did wasn't bad. It's just that they got out of position. The Bulldogs were really tricky, and I think threw them off a little bit. I wonder if they'll switch their tanks up a little bit now that they've seen what they're up against, and they can have a chance to switch their tanks, because they ran a bit heavy, and they did struggle to push their way out. They also showed themselves too early. The Waffen did not really end up working out too well for them. The cool thing about the Waffen on Himmelsdorf is you can put it up on that castle where it's safe and it can get a good shot, or you can hide him around a corner. On this map, there's not as many corners to work with, because even though it is technically a city map, it's almost like one of our half-and-half maps, because once you get out to the open, and in general the streets on the map in the middle are pretty open as well, the Waffen is very exposed, as we saw. And
because he was so exposed, he was definitely one of the major first tanks that they were going to focus on and try to get rid of, because, as you know, tank destroyers, they do exactly that. They destroy tanks, and one critical hit from them, and an IS-3 can just basically be demolished in a second. So very good choices to get rid of that instead of the IS-3 that was sitting right in front of them. Krazib in the very beginning, I think that might have made a difference.
Yeah, I actually
had
almost forgotten about that, because that was such a weird play, and he was gone from the very beginning of the game. He did get some scouting information, but not worth it, not that haphazardly. No. It's almost like it was a miscommunication. He thought his team was rolling in behind him, and they just decided to stay back. So he was a feeder, if you will, in this game. They gave him away, and that hurt big time.
It sure did.
We've got all the players in the lobby now. So it was perhaps some player switches or maybe some tank switches going into this one, because that took them a bit of time to get ready. Definitely not rolling with the same tanks this game.
No, I don't think they will. I think I have a feeling TCSG is going to probably leave the city.
Waffen out?
Oh, yeah, that too. Leave the Waffen out. But they're probably going to leave the city, because obviously that tactic didn't work out, and everyone leaves the city. We've seen every single team do that so far.
I'd like to see the Waffen replaced with a 1390. I think that's a good way to go about things. I mean, it's not going to save their strategy. They have to do a better plan, like you said, and leave the city and try to take the fight probably to the east, where we see most players actually attempt to move on this map. But bringing the Waffen out of that, it's almost like they wanted to hope the fight happened in the city so the Waffen could do more damage. Everything didn't work out the way they wanted it to. and it likely won't, especially because now the Immortals have dealt with this strategy one time already. And I think the best plan is to just play standard from here.
I think so
and
too.
Hope for the best, because they are not, they're the ones that are the underdogs here. They're up against a really tough opponent from Vietnam here in the Immortals. So
we'll have to see. Yeah,
plans may have to change here, I feel.
I think they will, and I think we're going to get in soon. But hold on, I'm getting a message here. Oh. That's why it was so long. I think TCSG needed a little bit of a bathroom break. But now everyone is back and everyone is ready to play. We're going into game number 2. This is set number 2, TCSG versus the Immortals. Immortals are up 1 and on the defense once again.
All right, so, whoa, they could not have done more of a 180. Same lineup for the Immortals, but 5 T-54s and 2 LTTBs. They're definitely going to rush again all together, and here they are. They're doing it.
They're doing it, and I feel like they saw the Walker Bulldogs. They were like, you got Bulldogs? We're going to take LTTBs. Like, we're just going to match you 1 for 1. Immortals, obviously, on the defense, going to have those heavy tanks still. The 2 IS-3s and 1 5100. But yeah, you're right. The entire team coalition is just going to rush all together. They're just going to zip around and see if they could take members out. Catan is going to be the main focus, but he is actually able to zip away very quickly. Roby1 really, really wants that, though. Catan is taking damage. There's 3 tanks on his tail.
Yep, Catan needs to get out of here. But he's drawn a lot of the attention away, and that did cost him some damage. And obviously, this is going to take some reacting, right? The Immortals are going to have to respond to this very aggressive rush strategy, which they did not expect. Ooh, Blackheart in a perfect spot with that IS-3, just rotating in and out, firing, reloading, firing.
Oh gosh, yeah, but they know exactly where they are, and the entire team is going to come around and try to take him out. However, Blackheart looks to be bait because there's members of Immortals everywhere surrounding the entire team of the Coalition. Baby does go down. Hades does take him out. Blackheart's still alive. 5 members trying to take him out, while on the perimeter, you have members of the Immortals just one by one trying to take out members of the Coalition.
I mean, he sits there in, like I said, perfect position because the other team is waiting. The Coalition doesn't scout. They fire on an IS-3. Oh, look at that ram damage.
Wow, that was some ram damage.
But, they don't scout. They attack him. They get him down to about 1/4 health. And then, perhaps a lack of communication, they switch targets altogether. They don't even kill him. And he survives, and the damage is done. It's permanent, and the Immortals take this win here, going into a 2-game win. But maybe some communications issues there. They haphazardly attacked him without any vision of it, any know-how. There could have been even more tanks over there. They could have had more. It was just kind of a let's hope this works type of strategy. Sometimes that does work for TCSG, but they also didn't focus and kill the IS-3. They left him there.
I know,
so he was just sitting there like,
oh,
hey, you guys remember me? I'm going to do so much damage.
There was like 5 of them surrounding him, and they didn't think to kill off Blackheart.
They couldn't finish him.
No, because they got distracted by all the other members of the Immortals just kind of shooting at them. But that's where the frustration and distraction comes from, right? It was like, Blackheart, you be our bait.
It's like, oh, we're not destroying him, but that's an AMX 100. If we hit him with like 2 good shots, he'll go down. Well, then they miss him because they're in bushes. They're in a better spot. Really a rough time there for them, and I just I don't know what to say.
I don't even know what to say for that one.
They're changing it up.
They are changing it up.
They're going for a rush strategy. It caught the first tank off guard, but after that, position was good, and then they couldn't target well the communication, or something is wrong. Something is off.
All right, well, TCSG is going to be on the defense this time. I'm not sure if that's going to make much of a difference because the way they've been playing, I feel like Immortals can just do the same thing, rush in and just kill them all off before even capping any base captures.
Well, I feel like the Immortals are just going to play slow and safe and hope that TCSG kind of rushes in and does something suicidal. They're going to be rushing. If TCSG decides to attack, they're going to be rushing into the city, which would be, basically absurd and suicidal. So I would hope that we don't see him do that, but based on what we just saw, anything is possible,
Anything is possible, and like we said, TCSG is just one of those teams that we have noticed don't really have their own style yet.
Yeah.
And so they're kind of like adapting from everyone else. Who are they adapting from this time, Move?
I don't know. I hope that they can do something standard that works. I hope that we see them slowly, set up, defend the east, get that cobblestone path, get that defended, get a few AMX tanks over there watching down that pathway, so that if anyone peeks out, they can do that autoloader damage. One T-37 perhaps to the north, just to make sure the Immortals don't do anything crazy. And that's the way I would tell them to do it. I'd be like, just play safe like the rest of the Japanese and Chinese teams.
Basically, that's not what we're going to see. That's what you're telling me?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what we should see. But knowing the track record of our Singaporean team here, very unlikely. They have their own way of doing things or attempting to do the other things that other people do. Trying to copy the defensive strategy of other teams is something we could still see. Okay, let's check it out, see what strategies they're going to bring for us next in this next game. We are in set number 3, TCSG versus the Immortals, and Coalition are now on the defense. Well, for the Coalition, they've decided to run several T-54s. They put Krazib on the 5100, which is somewhat alarming and worrisome to me because he seems to be a bit YOLO, if you will, and that's not who you want on your 5100. On the Immortal side of things, they're running a pretty standard composition of 3 lightweights for that extra mobility to get them out of the city. They also have 2 IS-3s and a 5100 as well, matching tank for tank. They have Catan on this VK-2801. Now, if I had to guess, I'd say it's probably a Soviet tank. I've never seen it before. It's a German tank, actually. Oh, it's a Tier 6 German light tank. Yeah, this is the first time we are definitely seeing this in this season. Well, he's taken a lot of damage on it already, down to 240, and actually down he goes. Baby takes him out here. He went for a very quick, aggressive position on that northern capture point, but the Immortals still in a good position to back up the rest of their push towards that capture point. They might even be trying to rush a capture here. Still now only leaving Blackheart on the edge, and he avoids damage. So, what can you tell me about this new tank, Susie? Yeah, I'm just wondering why he would have picked this tank over picking, say, like a T-37, right? And I mean, the only thing I could really think of is, like, it's got good mobility, but it's very fast. It is fast, but it's kind of big for a light tank, you know? And it's a good ramming tank. Maybe that's why he picked it? Yeah, perhaps so. He rushed the capture point with it and just kind of sat there, and because he was a big target, Baby was able to take him out. Baby of all players, not the most accurate on the IS-3, but accurate enough. Blackheart is still forcing the issue here. Maybe it was an idea if he's going to take it down, they're going to ignore him, and then Blackheart comes in and it's 2 tanks on the capture. We'll never know because he's dead. But that is very true. I kind of wish that Catan was left alive so we could see the way that the VK is used, really. All right, base capture. Blackheart is on it. 60 seconds left. And TCSG, they're going to have to do something. The Coalition is... they're looking for him. They're up a tank. Let's see if they can make this work. Baby is trying to get into position. Odysseus is also running around here. Try to get a different angle. Yeah. I can't believe Blackheart's been left this long alone. I can't believe either. They're really not doing anything. They're not even hitting him to try to reset the capture point. Yeah, well, it's like they're too scared to try to get position because they don't know what's back there. They've learned their lesson from that last round, basically. But then they try to go from behind and then change their minds, and they're going back around here. All of this is costing them time. It looks like they're going to try to just rush in. Blackheart gets the shot up first and avoids damage and stays in the capture point. All right, there we go. Finally, the reset, like you said. Odysseus very exposed. That was scary. That was scary. Hades is able to take that shot between and try to get Baby there. And now it's like there's 4 members all grouped up, bunched up. Man, if you had a tank destroyer right now, imagine that. Imagine the splash damage. Hades goes down, and the Coalition does have a significant lead here. They are up a tank. They do have a significant hit point lead as well. The Sirius is coming from behind. Looks like he wants Odysseus. He's going to actually avoid damage with that lightweight. He is. He's going to zip along and see what kind of damage he could do. At least he's getting visibility. Both bases now are going to start getting captured. Wow, the whole team is moving away here. Besides the 5100 and the IS-3 because they can't. They're actually pinned down while the rest of the team leaves. An interesting choice to fire on Blackheart with the 5100. The first shot is hit. It was very little damage. The second shot misses. It's very important to keep those rounds as useful as possible. And usually you don't want to be using them on an IS-3 except for emergencies.
I'm not sure why the Coalition decided to all go around. There's no one there. I'm sure they don't know that there's no one there. But that just leaves members of the remaining members of the Coalition to be very vulnerable. Roby 1 does go down. These 3 tanks are going to realize there's no one here except for the Sirius. Sirius probably ran through that base to try to bait them to come out. Sun in a little bit of trouble, but
yeah, I don't even understand why he did that. Why the Sirius did that. Besides baiting, I mean, he was maybe trying to get some vision, but it was definitely not intentional. But whatever the plan was, the Coalition fell for it. They definitely took a lot of concern of the Sirius. The base capture's down to 4 seconds here. Does get reset as Zeus falls, but Blackheart and Ningyo in such a good position. They need to get in there and do something. Odysseus might be able to make a shot, but if he misses, it's over. And actually, I don't think he gets there in time. Nope, too late.
And Immortals is going to go ahead and take game number 3.
And for what it's worth, he missed the shot anyways, so Immortals taking a base capture on this map. We very rarely see that occur at that location. It's just that they had such an early advantage, they were able to push it. And that IS-3 on the edge was just like constantly forcing the issue.
Yeah, he was. And I really did like how the Sirius baited them. Half the entire team just left that northern base.
Yeah, that was so strange, too, because I don't think Sirius ever thought that many people were going to chase him. I think he wanted to get Odysseus, which he wasn't able to do, but as soon as he saw that wasn't the case, he just positioned himself really well. He avoided damage. He ran through the line of fire, and they all chased him for some reason.
They all chased him, and that just left the rest of his team to be completely vulnerable. You left a 5100, like, by himself, sitting there. Every member of the Immortals was going to take him out.
Yeah,
quickly.
And then they had too many tanks as well as the capture point and good position to defend it. So all that was left was Odysseus to try to delay that. The time was still so high, so even though they delayed it once, it didn't matter because they had 3 tanks in there, and the time just goes down so fast. It's time to switch sides, I believe, as we go into this next game. No, actually, this is our 4th game.
Yeah, this is the 4th game. So
I was thinking they were already up 4-0, and we were going to the next match. So it's the final set.
This is the final set, yes, of this map. And again, TCSG on the defense, but I'm not sure if they know how to defend this very well. If they're falling for every bait and, you know, all these hooks and like the
communication
game
seems to be a bit like lacking. I feel like there's not a single shot caller who's making all the decisions quickly enough for the team to listen to him rather than kind of go with their instinct. Because imagine if 1 tank runs by 4 tanks, 1 tank should handle it, not the rest. And maybe they all have that moment of, oh, I'll get it. You know, it's like when nobody calls a pop fly in baseball and everyone tries to catch it.
Right.
The things that go along with that. I don't know, Susie. TCSG not known for winning many games in this tournament. It might just be another one of those days for them. I like the guys. I think they've got potential. They're obviously qualified. They're in Gold League. They're in the best here for Asia. But compared to the rest of these teams, they have looked incredibly weak. Not even able to beat Run in that series. So
that is true.
It's just.
I mean, the only points that they got was because the other team just got disqualified.
Right. Elong didn't show, and they won. But we're going into our final set on Runeberg.
We sure are, and yeah, let's go into set number 4. Set number 4, TCSG versus the Immortals. Immortals are up 3, and the Coalition are on the defense once again.
Same tanks for Coalition. Krazib on that 5100, and for the Immortals, 4 T-54s this time. So very lightweight.
They got rid of the, yeah.
They're not bringing that
VK-28.
The VK,
yeah, I don't. Like I said, I don't know why they wouldn't have taken a T-37 earlier. This is probably the much better choice.
Maybe just almost, honestly, Catan, one of my favorite players for this team, maybe just being like, kind of wanted to try this, yeah. I kind of want to try this. I think it's pretty good. Everyone else is saying no, but he just wants to try it. Doesn't work out. Go back to what does work.
Okay, Immortals this time around going down the southern road, and they're going to all travel as a team. Catan, obviously, the Lone Ranger. He's going to go north, scout out the northern base capture, see what's there, while the rest of the team is going to try to meet the rest of the Coalition right here in the village.
Yep. And Coalition almost setting a trap here, but they're not in position with enough of their players to actually stop this. Krazeeb in a good spot. Let's see who he decides to fire on. He actually doesn't take a single shot. Oh, he hits a building. No one was even close to there. That was a bit of a weird shot.
Well, Krazeeb actually takes some damage through.
I think he was trying to hit building. I think he was trying to hit Blackheart, but it was way off. Trading fairly evenly here. These two teams right now. The Sirius gets another shot on Roby-1 Kenobi, but takes one himself. They attempted a base capture briefly and then stopped. Now they're actually going to go over here and try it again with 2 tanks in. Might send a third in. The 5100 is nearby.
Yep. I feel like Coalition are playing this a lot more calmly and much better. They are definitely talking about what they want to do as of right now anyway. But when the water gets hot, that's where they start dancing. And
wow.
Yep, Sirius takes some serious damage.
Yeah.
Zeus now is going to be the focus of it as well.
Misses a shot once more as well. And, you know, the Coalition in a pretty good spot here.
They really are.
But the base capture, you know, is not the bigger issue. It's just Krazeeb needs to use his last 3 shots really well. Zeus is actually blocking incredibly well in IS-3, but he will fall with just one more shot.
One more
Lyrics,
shot.
I think.
There it is. Lyrics takes him out, and there is the base capture is reset to 0.
T-37's fighting, meanwhile, on the other side of the map, and I think that Odysseus is going to win it. Catan looks like he's retreating just based on the mini-map. Oh, and Roya Mia is actually on the support here. He should be able to finish him off with one more shot.
He's just going to ram into him and kill him off. Yep, that's he go. The Catan is down.
Roby-1 Kenobi! Ooh.
Oh, wow, just barely missed. Like, he just avoids that really quickly. But Sun, again, come around, ram into him, perhaps?
Just going to try to take the shot from the side. There he goes. Krazeeb.
Avoids it.
He avoids Hades' fire as well. Oh my god. Haku gets very low though.
Okay. Sun's going to come around and take him down.
The Sirius is still alive, which is so important they didn't finish him off earlier. And Ningyo is just going to use his autoloader to finish off Lyrax. And I think that the Immortals have finally turned this around and will take a victory here.
Yeah, TCSG were in the lead for a while. Roy Hamia here going to take damage. They're just going to ram right into him. Odysseus, where are you, dude? Join the rest of the party.
He was having a little battle with his opponent's T-37. He won, but he's not going to win the war.
No, he's not. He sure is not.
Here comes Hades to finish him off.
He's going to bash into him, too. I really like this. Oh, Blackheart's like, nope, I'm going to take the kill. And Immortals go ahead and take game number 4. And they've won all 4 games on this map, but we are going to go into Mines next.
Yeah, we saw only 1 game on Mines today as Elon was able to take this with a 5-0 score.
Right.
And I think this might occur again here. TCSG on this map loves to roam aggressively, almost like imitating horsemen a little bit with how they like to play it. We might see them run 2 tier 7s and a bunch of lightweight T-54s. We could also see them just try to fight straight up with a bunch of 1390s and IS-3s. We saw them do that against Run on this map.
You think we'll see any SPGs on this?
No, actually, for 2 reasons. Because TCSG is not known for SPGs, and that's not, against their style. It means 1 less tank in a fight. And because the Immortals know that an SPG is a bit of a liability if they get surrounded in an early fight like this. The SPG is great against a defensive team like Karen Tigers, like Elong, like B Gaming on a map like this. You know, honestly, even against a team like Team Efficiency, who's very careful about how they attack, might see an SPG. On this map, though, for the Immortals against TCSG, don't think we should see it. I think it would be a mistake.
All right, well, let us introduce to you Mines once again with this VCR here.
Yeah, so we only saw it once today. We did see this video, but we can describe it to you guys once more, for maybe those tuning in a little bit late. So on this map, there are obviously 2 spawning locations. There's the attacking side over there, and the blue one is the defending. There's 2 capture points on the map, and there's 2 contested locations, both being shown here. The capture point over on the west side is there, and one up to the middle.
Yep, and the little spaces by the lighthouse and, again, the mine. Those are the 2 places where we're going to see the teams duke it out, basically. They want those positioning so that they can have the best visibility to be able to take the shots.
If the team brings a lot of, I'd say like a medium lineup, not medium tanks, but more well-rounded, like say only a few IS-3s, like 2-2-2 type thing, where 2 IS-3s, maybe 2 AMXs, and 2 lightweights, and then a tier 6 or an SPG, then we're probably going to see them move slowly, try to take the high ground. We're going to see them run a lot of lightweights. They're going to be going towards the beach, towards the, that ocean side near the lighthouse, roaming around near those docks and trying to take control from behind, and perhaps even trying to capture the right side. As we mentioned before, this map is very rarely decided by base capture, usually decided by elimination, because it's so hard to hold on to either point long enough because there's so many different ways you could be fired upon, especially if there's an SPG on the map. I don't think we're going to see one with these two teams in particular.
Yeah, now that I think about it, you're right. They're not known for their SPGs, and they're no obelisk. I keep going back to that guy. I really like that guy.
He's really good. I mean, ever since we cast him on day one, I was like, this is my bro. This is my dude. He's my guy.
He is really good. We'll probably see, I'm thinking lightweight tanks. I think a lot of the T-54s, just because these two teams do tend to like to run around, and they like to run around and shoot at each other even if they don't connect. But
yeah, well,
that's really important to them.
Looks like the game's ready, so we can talk a bit about it more once we get inside.
All right, we'll see what tanks they got on game number 5. Set number 5 is about to begin. If Immortals win this one, then that is it for the series. They get +3 points. Let's look at the tanks.
Really good tank lineup for the Immortals. They are reading the Coalition like a book. One T-32 obviously going to use that hull down behind a rock. The rest of the tanks are lightweights. 5 T-54s and the 12-ton, which is going to be great in a straight-up engagement should that be what happens. And the Coalition, I think they're going to slowly push towards a big fight because they bring 2 IS-3s to help them out. Almost like more sustain in a longer battle, and then the rest of the tanks are going to be lightweight. So this is a really good choice, and it looks like the Immortals wants to meet them head on.
I think so too. I think they both want this high ground. They're going to go up towards the mine. Who's going to get it though? Immortals are going to go head on first. It looks like Coalition's going to back off just a bit, but there is a lot of fire being shared here, back and forth. Ningyo does take some damage. Both of them are about the same. Immortals, a little, they're the ones with the less HP right now.
Look at the positioning of the IS-3s. Really good here by Coalition. Actually, I can't imagine the Immortals winning this fight with these IS-3s blocking like this. Wilhelmia does take some damage from behind, actually. Gets taken out by the Sirius. But this fight looking to be a good one for the Coalition positioning-wise. But Zeus doing some very serious damage and is being protected currently. Oh, wow, this is actually just a brawl
yeah,
here.
This is a big brawl. I don't even know who's winning. There's just tanks falling left and right, literally left and right as I'm looking at the lineups here.
Yeah, the Sirius is just...
Haku, that's your own teammate. Don't bump into him. Zeus is going to try to take out Roby Wan. Sirius just falling. Oh, he got hit by Crazim off the ledge. And, yeah, they're down to 3 tanks now, Immortals.
Yeah, Zeus finally looks like he will fall here, and the whole fight, Bhutan was not there, which hurt them a lot. And with the IS-3s, the longer the fight goes, the better it's going to be for them, especially when they have them positioned perfectly, blocking everybody. The Coalition has won this game. They have won their first game, well, first one in memory here, but definitely all going down to the Immortals. Did not expect them to be there that early. They did not have the... they were not equipped to fight at that position. They wanted to fight in a more open space.
Yeah.
And the 2 IS-3s were in perfect position to block. The rest of the T-54s doing damage from behind.
That was pretty nuts. And again, obviously a one-off kind of strategy, but it actually worked for the Coalition this time
I think they're going to do the same type of strategy, just attack a different location this time.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Maybe even moving around the beach and try to come from behind. That's their first win in a long time since they played against Run, where they won in tiebreaker.
Oh, that's right, that's right.
And they traded game for game on mines back then. So their very first map win in a long time with a strategy that they've prepared really well, the strategy that we've seen them do on this very map. I don't expect them to change it. Every other team would win a game like this and change it and play normal. They're like, wow, it's like we got a free win.
But you don't think so?
But I don't think they're going to do that.
All right. Oh, gosh. Well, I really didn't expect us to go to set 6, to be completely honest with you.
To be honest with you, neither did I. Even when I was watching them have the perfect position, I was like, they're somehow not going to win.
They're going to mess it up somehow.
But
no,
they played it well.
They did. They did. Well, I'm speechless right now.
Well,
Okay.
The map is ready. All the players are in there. We're just making sure that both teams are ready. There's no players swap.
There is a tank change, though. It looks like the Immortals are going to change up their tanks a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna say what it is. It's a bit of a surprise.
Whoa.
What we're gonna see here.
You will definitely see that here. Remember, Immortals are on the attack, and it's an attacking type of tank.
It's a really unique tank for the map. We've never seen it on this map in this tournament before.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Not even once.
That's really interesting.
We're seeing a new meta shift in Asia towards using this tank. All right, let's just say what it is. So
it's the Waffen, guys. Woo!
Because I'm like, I don't know how much downtime we're going to have, and I don't want to keep this a surprise as we talk about the strategy of the surprise. It's going to be a tank destroyer they're bringing here, which is really unique. It can be really good at destroying those IS-3s if they just rush in right in front of the Waffen. So that's probably what they're using it for, just kind of taking it to defend this sort of aggressive push with IS-3 blockers at the front. It's almost like the linebackers in the front, like trying to push everybody away, while the rest of those T-54s do the throw, throw those rounds at their opponents.
Strong arm them.
Charging in with those IS-3s.
All right. Well, it looks like yeah, we're going to see the same lineup for TCSG. They have no idea that this Waffen is in the lineup for the Immortals, so we're going to have to see how this works. Obviously, if you said they're going to, like you said, if they're going to do the same tactic of just running in, then yeah, I mean, I think the Waffen can make quite a difference.
Just confirmed in chat as well, Baby has confirmed to us that they will be using the same lineup of tanks on TCSG for this game. So we'll see if the Waffen can turn things around. All
right, and I think the game is ready now. We're going to head into set number 6. All right, guys, set number 6, TCSG versus the Immortals. Immortals up 4 games, Coalition managing to take 1 map, and here is the tank list.
All right, so the Waffen is the big deal here for the Immortals.
Let's go.
Everything else is the same. They switched out the T-32 for that, so everything else is the same. All those T-54s, whereas we see the Coalition using the IS-3s to block again, and they're going to be doing, appears to be another rush strategy. Although, 2 T-54s break off from the group, and the Immortals are going towards the beach location.
Yeah. The Catan is going to...
He wants to see if he can get that 6th sense, see who's coming along. Zeus is coming here as well. And...
this is really interesting. Yeah, the Coalition definitely not... They are breaking up. They're in 2 different groups, one down south and one obviously going to go towards the mine. And similarly, we see the Immortals. They're going to use that beachfront, as we often do. The T-54s like to go down there and hide a bit and see what they can pick off.
Yeah. This is crazy.
This is actually really crazy.
The T-37 in very precarious position. But Baby does join up with him, so
this is interesting. This is actually more of standard play, and TCSG is adapting that, right? They're looking and seeing, this is what other people do, we're going to do it too.
Yeah, it's just a weird lineup of tanks for it, but I'm not going to blame them if it's working. And the position they have right now is decent. They are going to basically just try to defend here.
Okay, Sirius is going to go up on the lighthouse high ground. Catan is going to start this base capture, try to lure members of the Coalition to come down so that, obviously, the Waffen can go ahead and take some shots at them.
Yeah.
Blackheart and Sun, they're just going to dance, really, at the very, very bottom of this map.
Yeah, and, wow, I mean, I've never seen a Coalition play a standard game like this that looks like it's working this well before. I mean, it's not over yet by any means.
Right, okay.
But they have time working on their side. We're still very early on here. Good positioning here by the Immortals to the south. Oh, what a snipe shot all the way across by Sun.
Wow, yeah. We've got members of TCSG just kind of being chipped away at. Lyrics and Crazy, both just about half HP on both of them.
Hit point lead to Immortals, but very slightly. And they're still not able to make any headway on these capture points. So they're just trying to take better shots here from the edge of the map. I mean, they're nearly out of bounds. You see that red line on the edge indicating where the boundary actually lies. Can't stay out of that for too long or you'll just get eliminated. But
I am amazed at how incredibly slow-paced this game has been so far.
And the funny thing about this too, Susie, is that this is not a standard setup for the map. We almost never see this sort of setup where you've got all the tanks on the beach basically looking down versus a bunch of tanks on the high ground.
We never see a Waffen either.
Yeah, that's true.
This is pretty nuts.
Yeah.
All right, Hades finally going to get back onto the base, hoping to, I don't know, make sure the Coalition can come out and play, basically.
Well, as soon as this sort of thing happens, normally if you have an SPG on the map, you start shelling either Hades and trying to push them off that way. They don't have that, but they do have Haku.
They do have Haku, and Haku is going to try to chip away at Hades, even though he doesn't do a ton of damage, especially being a lightweight and so far away. He wants to be able to reset that base capture timer. This is really interesting, though. Blackheart and Sun have just been all the way at the bottom. They're just waiting for the perfect opportunity.
Yeah, they're just trying to chip away at these hit points, but it's not working out as well as they'd like. And Haku's trying to eliminate Ningyo. He misses the shot, but if it had connected, it would have won them, or not won them the game, but it would have eliminated Ningyo. It would have been a winning shot.
Right.
In the sense that it's going to destroy this tank.
Okay, now there are 2 tanks on the base capture. They're like, man, if this isn't going to lure him out, I don't know what is.
Haku has been incredible. He's done 1,100 damage this game.
Ooh,
7 shots, 5 hits.
Look at that.
Rohamiya goes down, meanwhile, yeah.
The Waffen finally doing his job, but you know what? He's down to about 732 HP as well.
Yeah.
He did his job, though. He took one down.
He did. This is starting to become a bit of a tight game here because the Immortals are running out of time. We're about to hit the point where they can no longer capture by 1.
Oh, Haku takes out the Catan as well, so yeah.
Haku is MVP this game.
I will give him that.
I mean,
he sure is.
He's done a whole tank's worth of damage to so many members. He's also delayed the base capture multiple times. Zeus and Odysseus are going to collide here. Zeus is definitely going to win this fight.
All right, Zeus, come on. Do something for your team. He's going to take a shot, and Odysseus is going to have to run away.
Yep. And Odysseus going to take one more shot.
One more shot. Zeus is
he going to hit it? Oh, there it goes.
There we go. So 1v1 fight. Zeus wins that one out. Slowly, though, while that was going on, we've got members of Coalition who are falling as well. Base capture keeps resetting. Oh, never mind. Hades is down.
It's actually a bit crazy. They keep putting these tanks in Haku's way. They're also not dealing with Haku. Blackheart and Sun look poised to try to do that, but they're out of time. All right, here we go.
Yeah, they're sick of Haku killing off their friends. I think they're going to have to head up there and make sure that they take him down. 2 T-54s should be able to take out 1.
I don't know if they can actually eliminate the rest of these tanks in 100 or 1 minute and 20 seconds here. The base capture timer is not enough. The 88 seconds is not enough. They need 10 more seconds of real game time if they're going to be able to do that. Larox does kill Zeus as well, and there goes Sun.
There goes Sun.
Coalition bringing it back, Susie.
Oh my goodness.
They want to come back.
What is going on?
Ningyo is going to fall as well, and then it's only going to be a tank destroyer with 60 seconds to destroy 4 tanks. I don't think
they will either. I think the idea behind the Waffen here was because they expected, just like you did, that they were just going to all rush in and hoping that if they can get them all together, can explode them all, right? Oh,
he does get one more tank.
He does get one more tank.
The Coalition wins 2 games. Can't even believe it. We saw today already team efficiency did incredibly well versus Karen Tiger. Coalition looking solid as well.
Yeah.
I have nothing bad to say about the Coalition's play. I have everything good to say about Haku's accuracy. He won that game nearly single-handedly.
Yeah.
He did so much damage. He denied so many captures. He was always in a position where he was hard to be picked off. They couldn't really figure out how to deal with him until it was too late.
I feel like, I mean, do you think with the Waffen pick, they obviously expected Coalition to come rushing in so that they can take out a bunch of tanks at the same time, do a lot of splash damage. You think they kind of underestimated what the Coalition were able to do?
Absolutely. I think they expected to see the same strategy twice as I did. And that's why I also thought they used the Waffen. Like, I was totally on the same page as you. It just didn't work out that way. And the funny thing is now they're probably going to switch it out, but for multiple reasons. One reason is it didn't work out for them. The other reason is they're switching sides. On the attack, the Waffen is not going to be as useful.
No, absolutely not.
I wonder if we'll see an SPG or not, because it's really interesting how TCSG is playing, and an SPG would be quite useful against this type of very slow, patient style. But is the Coalition going to play this style again? We really don't know. We have no idea, and neither do they. So it's hard to make an educated, perfect tank pick here.
That is true. I don't think they will, and I say that because, like you said before, we've never seen the Coalition really play SPGs. Also, throwing a member of your team on an SPG when he hasn't really been doing it before doesn't seem like the best idea, especially when you know that your opponent will win the series if they go one more game.
Yeah, well, I'm more curious to see if the Immortals are in SPG, because it's like, are the TCG going to play slow? Are they going to play fast? Their unpredictability is one of their strengths now.
Okay, well, let's take a look, see what kind of tanks they decide to bring for this game. Set number 7 for the 3rd series of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. We have TCSG versus the Immortals. Coalition inching their way back up there. Immortals with 4 games and no SPGs.
No SPGs. Again, it looks like basically the Immortals are switching out their top tank every time. This time it's going to be the 5100 instead of the Waffen, and the rest all T54s in the 12-ton. For the Coalition, they're keeping the tank lineup the exact same as they've done all of the games on this map so far.
Okay, well, all right, different strategy again this time around. We've got the Immortals are just going to try to rush in, take that high ground. But look at this, Coalition going east. That's new.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's ever done this before. The problem with doing this is it's so hard to actually move through this location, through all these buildings and whatnot.
All the farms and stuff. I think they're going to go east and try to take this base capture up on top. And
can't fire yet. He's still reloading from spawn.
He is, but he's up now. He's going to take some shots. The rest of the team, Immortals, are going to come down. Crazy is going to go down, take some critical hits there.
Ningyo goes down first, though, and they eliminated him. That's what they wanted to do. Can they transition? Can they pull out of this, though? Catan at the back taking a lot of damage as well. Now the Sirius finally rushing in. And Baby so far behind this IS-3 is so slow. Down goes Sun. Another big pickup here for Coalition.
Wow, Coalition, again, their rushing strategy really working out for them in their advantage. Zeus is going to try to take out Roy Hamia. He does. Lyrex goes down as well. It was working out for them. Let me rephrase that.
The focus fire is too good for the Immortals.
Yeah.
It's basically perfect. Baby now shows up with a slow IS-3 too late. Obi-Wan Kenobi takes out Hades, but that's a small victory here as the Immortals now outnumber them 4-1. 3 of them being T-54s, which can just run circles around the IS-3s, and that's what they're going to do here. Obi-Wan Kenobi in an awkward spot. The Sirius.
He's thinking to jump in. I think he's going to jump down a little bit to see if he can get some sort of damage on. Zeus is going to come back around, take that final shot on Baby. Oh, Blackheart does instead, and
Rogue
now...
One Kenobi does come down, but he comes down to die, I feel, as there's not much for him to do here. Even the Sirius confident enough to come out here and take a shot.
Oh, man. You know, if TCSG had just a little bit better focus fire, I think they really could have taken this game as well. Roby-Wan, yep, star of the moment, and Immortals win, and they're going to take this series 5-2.
TCSG playing incredibly well, though.
They did.
For them, right? Like, that was the best game, or the best map play we've seen from them in this entire tournament. Team efficiency as well, playing really well today, and that makes me happy because it means these teams are not giving up, being lower in points, get lower in the rankings, taking their opponents very seriously, continuing to practice, continuing to improve.
Yeah.
And you know, even though in the round robin, for example, especially TCSG has basically no chance of going anywhere, this is experience, this is good practice that will carry on to next season.
Yes, and I think that's great that they are, like you said, still not giving up, still trying really hard and to improve their game. And by playing against good teams, you know, you can only improve because you learn better tactics. And what they need to do is they need to just make these strategies theirs and get comfortable with them.
Well, you know, they're going in the right direction, Susie, and that's what matters. As long as teams are going up and up, you can only get better.
All right, well, let's recap what happened today. We're going to look at the results of today, Tuesday. And here we go. We can see that Karen Tigers wins 5-2. Again, team efficiency played really, really well. B Gaming versus EL. EL showing us once again that they are an amazing, amazing team. And the last set, you guys just watched Immortals versus TCSG, and TCSG taking 2 maps.
You know what's crazy is, if you look at this results screen, I would have imagined the B Gaming would have taken 2 games. The other series might have been 5-0, which is the exact opposite. Really big, I mean, the winning teams, congratulations, but big shout out today to TE and TCSG, really bringing their A game, playing very well today, and making these games exciting.
I have to agree with you. That was great. I was on the same page. I thought Karen Tigers, they're just going to win at 5-0. It'll be really quick. No, Team Efficiency definitely showed us that they can play with the big boys too, and they played phenomenally today. So great job, guys. All right, so next match, we're going to be back here again on Monday. And these are the teams that we have for you. We have Team Efficiency again going to play against Run. Then we have Karen Tigers playing against the Horsemen, and Elong once again versus TCSG.
So last time Elong didn't show up versus TCSG, so hopefully both teams will show this time. We'll get to see them have a go at it. TCSG, with how they played today, might be able to take some games. Horsemen versus Karen Tiger, the most exciting, I feel. And Run, they're getting better. Team Efficiency on point, though, so we'll really have to wait and see how that goes.
Absolutely, and this is all for you Monday night, July 13th at 8 o'clock. That's UTC +8, or it's 9 o'clock if you're on Korea time. That's where we are.
That's where we're at, so be sure to come and watch us then.
Absolutely. So yeah, over the weekend, keep cool, everybody. It is going to be about 37 degrees Celsius in Seoul this weekend. That's
Pretty hot.
That's like 100 degrees Fahrenheit for you Americans that use that. But you guys stay cool and have a great weekend. We will see you again on Monday.